not going yet.
It's not
Oh,
going.
now it is. Yes.
Oh, now it is. Oh, hello, everyone. Hello, Anna. So
Hello,
nice
hello.
to meet you. My name
My
is
pleasure.
My name is Iris or Iris. I'm from Norway. I'm a DT, new DT at Magdalena's team for Kreativt shop. And it's a pleasure to meet you, Anna. Magdalena set us up
Yes.
because we are looking forward to having you in Stavanger in March.
Yes.
Yes, we are so excited. This will be my first classes with Finnabair. So I'm super excited. I'm super excited.
Thank you so much. It will be great to have you in the classroom.
Oh, we are really looking forward to it. Really, really, really. It will be great fun, I'm sure. I'm kind of a newbie in mixed media, Anna, and I've heard about Finnabair. I have a few of your products that I love. I love your masks. I love your paste. I love your paint. I have a few books with stickers. They are great. But when Magda asked me if I would do an interview with Finnabair, I was of course I will do that. And then I got, oh my God, it's Finnabair. She's huge.
No, I'm not. I'm not. This is not
Yes,
true. Don't listen to anyone saying that.
But of course, I thought to myself, Anna, that you are Anna. You are a person. You are a person. You are a lovely person. So I think this will be great. But I had to learn or try to. I went into your log. I read about you. I've watched videos on YouTube, and I absolutely love them. I love the videos where you explain about your media, your medium, your products, and I mean how to build in balance and everything. I absolutely love that.
Thank
But
you.
I also I think it's kind of fun, with the AI, with the chat GPT. You can ask the chat lots of things, and I asked chat GPT, who is Finnabair?
Oh my God. No.
Yes, and would you like
Okay.
to hear what chat told me
Yes.
who you are?
Just before we start, I have no idea. I never asked that question. I am not really into ChatGPT yet. I just say
Okay.
hello to everybody officially because I can see people are still joining, and it's great to have them here. We have 24 people watching. Some of them are my patrons, and I guess
Okay.
some of them are the possible students coming. So this is great to have the people watching us. So I want to say huge thank you for the invitation for this interview and opportunity to talk about the classes in Stavanger, because this is it's been a while, because I've been in Stavanger years ago. I don't even remember which year that was, but it would be great to be back. It would be great to see how some of the things changed, maybe, and it would be great to get in touch with the people who are into crafts, into art, into mixed media. And I heard the event is going to be rather inspiring because there are multiple things going on at the same time. So it is really, really fun.
Absolutely. We are so happy that you're coming, Anna. I know that you've been to Norway. I read that, I think, in your blog. I think it's a few years back. So
Yeah.
it's about time you come back to Norway.
Yes, I've been in several locations because I've
Okay.
been around Trondheim. I've been in
Yes.
Alesund. I've been in Oslo a couple of times.
Okay.
But in Stavanger, I think only once in Stavanger. I may be wrong, but I'm really a teacher since 2012. So some of the things, they get kind of like a little bit blurry. I remember I visited places and I know it was really, nicely done event and everything was okay. And I remember one time I was flying, I think to Trondheim and my flight was cancelled and I had to change things. I remember things like that, but to be honest, to remember which year I was
That's
somewhere,
impossible.
no.
That's impossible. I have to check my computer. See, we are. It's. I can see that 25 people, and of course, when we do lives, we always say hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. I forgot to do that, but you're a professional, Anna, so you remember.
I see the chat saying hello to us, so I'm just like, hi people.
Hello,
Good to see you.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Okay. Are you ready, Anna, to hear what Chat GPD?
I'm not sure.
No. Oh, I think you will love this. Okay, so this is what what it told me. Finnabair, known as Anna Dąbrowska, is a renowned Polish artist and designer, best known for her work in mixed media and craft art. She's particularly recognized for her unique style that combines textures, colors, and various materials to create expressive, deeply personal artworks.
Wow.
Yes, and Anna has a background in graphic design, but quickly discovered her passion for mixed media and became a pioneer in this art form. Her love for creative exploration and experimentation led her to develop a distinct approach that has inspired artists worldwide.
Wow.
She is also known for her collaboration with major brands in the crafting world and has developed a popular collection of products used by both amateur and professional artists. As an instructor, Finnabair holds workshops and courses around the world where she shares her techniques and inspires participants to explore their creative boundaries. Her ability to tailor to different skill levels makes her courses appealing to both beginners and experienced artists. Through her art and work, Finnabair has become a symbol of creative freedom and artistic expression, continuing to inspire with her unique perspective and relentless passion for mixed media.
Wow.
Wow! And here she
That
is.
sounds very serious.
Yes. So, can you relate to this, Anna?
I'm not sure. Like, kind of it partly says the truth, but it sounds much more serious when it's worded this way.
Okay.
But there's one thing, it was not really truth. I have no background in graphic designing.
Okay.
I am not a graphic designer at all. I'm by education, I'm an adult educator. I have a master's degree in adult education. So I'm a teacher, to be honest. I have no artistic background. I have no artistic background, and I have no graphic designing background. Like, everything I do is like I just learned on the way, and I'm just doing things. But yes, one of the things is I do teach a lot of classes, and now a lot of them happens online, of course, because after the pandemic started, a lot of people needed to switch so we could connect somehow, and a lot of people got a little bit more open to learning online as well. It was not as maybe not as intimidating as it was before. People discovered it's possible to meet with other people online, and that opened a lot of the opportunities for teachers. If we can't travel, or we for some reason if the students can't join the class because maybe for medical reasons, maybe they have no opportunity to travel because of the situation, maybe it's just too far, or maybe it is too expensive. Things happen. Sometimes the event is a great opportunity to meet others, but if it's 250 kilometers away and you have to be back on a certain day, it may not work. So it really requires some planning. Then online classes, they are also good alternative, and this way I got involved in online classes as well. So this ChatGPT does very good job. I think I know partly where the text comes from. I think I recognize some parts of it, yes.
Okay.
But it was worded very professionally and very nicely. And I feel like, oh my God, it sounds much more serious than it is in reality.
But I think it was a great way to find some information. But you know, it's really easy you can just ask the World Wide Web, and there it is. Plenty of information.
And as you can see, it was 95% correct.
Yes,
so
yes, it was. We can trust most of it. Then I trust in most of it. Yes, very nice, Anna. But you just corrected that you did not start as a graphic designer. But what got you into this? What got you started?
Like every other person. It was my hobby.
Okay.
So yes. I was just looking for something to do after, coming back home from my work. My job was, I work in a community center. So if you have this kind of things in Norway, and I think you have, this is like a place where there are after-school activities for kids. There are some events organized for the local community. There will be sometimes the musical events, or there will be some art events. There will be some all sorts of possible things, including like elderly club happening. And all of that is kind of hosted by the local club. And I was working in one of these places. Just, that was kind of logical place to work after I finished my studies. So that was kind of going into my direction. And after coming back home, I needed to do something to just relax and feel a little bit more creative and so on. And I learned things from my friends. It's usually our friends who made us start. So they make us start things, and they give us like this encouragement. And that was the same for me. I started with some decoupage techniques. I learned from my friend. She was a primary school teacher, and she had a lot of different skills to work with kids. And one day she decided to learn something else. She learned decoupage. Then she made decoupage party, which is everybody will come, put a bit of the money for the materials in the basket, and then she was teaching what she was able to explain herself. Then I started doing decoupage. Then my friends made me do some basic scrapbooking. Again, we were learning from each other, and that was the very beginning of it in Poland. It was 2008, 2009. There was almost nothing about scrapbooking. I didn't really get the concept why I'm supposed to stick the papers and photos and flowers together. It was not exactly my cup of tea. I enjoyed watching people doing that. I could do that, but I didn't really feel this is something for me. And quite quickly, my scrapbooking started to turn into like, how can we stick some unusual stuff on the top of this paper? How can we stick gears, or can we stick some parts of the computer or some things? Can we paint them first, because the colors, they don't match? So can I do? And I was experimenting with this. I was going to flea markets and buying stuff. So yes, it was all because of this.
Sorry, excuse me. I was really wondering about that, Anna, because when I watched your videos, you for certain you prepare for your sessions. I'm so impressed with the trays you bring, or the boxes you bring. There are so many cool stuff in there. Really? You can't go to flea markets all the time. Where do you get all your stuff? I know you have molds and things, but where do you get them? Do you tell your friends, please collect, please give them to me?
Yes, this is one of the ways. Okay. One of the ways is to ask your friends who are not into this kind of craft to think twice before throwing away whatever they are planning to throw away. So maybe some home appliances, or maybe some old jewelry, like, you know, the cheap jewelry we buy for like one event only, or maybe some little leftovers from the garage or from the kitchen, like the little leftovers when you open cans or things like that. People collect really amazing things, and you can compare it to this probably very famous in every family. There's a box for buttons and any kind of extra zippers and things like that. My grandma had one when she was collecting all the extra buttons just in case if she needs a button to fix a shirt or something. So these kind of boxes, they are amazing treasures, and people are very happy to get rid of them from time to time. I have to say, I intentionally was pretending on the flea market I'm interested in the box, to buy the box, the old tin, but what I wanted was really random stuff inside.
Yes.
So I was making like a bundle. So it was like, how much is this box here? Like, it's like €5. Okay, and that stuff inside, what is that? Oh, I don't know, some leftovers.
Okay.
So, okay, I
You
take
got
the
it
box. You don't have to throw that stuff out. I take everything. Okay.
That's a lovely idea, and I was, and now that is because it's like you got you're constantly thinking about it, because now I'm looking so much forward to your classes, and now I'm always on the lookout for items. My husband is into Lego, so I asked, can you please go look through all your boxes of Lego if there's some stuff I can use?
Yes.
And actually the other day I was making myself a couple of sandwiches, and I was about to throw a lid, and I thought, no, Anna would not throw that away. I will clean it and I will keep it.
I have a lot of boxes I collected over the years, and they are really they're a little bit sorted by kind. So there will be box with keys, or there will be box with rusty nails, or there will be box with the clock parts, or the box with computer parts, or there will be I have a jar of the light bulbs. By the way, the best light bulbs come from the car. So the good size from not really the light bulb. Sometimes also from the old torches and flashlights. They have nice small light bulbs, but they have to be old now. Everything is LED, so it's not so fun anymore. But if you get the old ones before you throw them away, get the little light bulb out of it. So the one from the cars, they're good sizes. So if you have somebody who works in the car garage, and they have to replace these different kind of little thingies, give them a bucket and ask them to throw it in the bucket you will collect later, instead of throwing that in the trash. So you can do it this way. You can always find things.
That's a great idea. I'm now I'm always on the lookout for bits and pieces to collect for my projects in the future. So
that's a very good habit, although I have to say the collection keeps growing, and it's sometimes hard to keep it tamed because it kind of expands. So keep that in mind as well.
Well, I know the problem. Me and my friend, we are just trying to get rid of some stuff because our craft rooms are, wow, I can't see my workspace. I can hardly see my workspace. So we have to get rid of some stuff, but we are selling the stuff. We are not throwing it away.
I hope so.
Yes, because it's a treasure for someone else who is is crafting. Yes, absolutely. So I have a list of questions, Anna. And I had some help from chat.
Okay.
And Magdalena. Do you remember your first mixed media project? What was it?
I think, and I may be wrong, because I made a lot of projects in a really short time, because I was looking for the style that would match my needs, and everything comes together. So I think it was like a scrapbook page cross into mixed media, where I used alcohol inks for the first time to paint the plastic parts. They were like, transparent plastic that you have for like folders and things like that. I painted that and I cut it into swirls, and then together with other embellishments, I added that overlapping the photos, so the colors were going there. And then I was really trying hard to stick some gears and some hinges and nails and metal parts, and I had no idea how to stick it because my glue was not holding that well. So in the end, instead of sticking, I took needle and thread and I basically just sewed them to the paper so they're going to stay in place. So this is like really the definition of mixed media. I did everything
Absolutely.
I could and I
Absolutely.
mixed everything. But that was it. And I really wanted to have this like more grungy composition, while most of the embellishments at that time, they were cute gems, crystals, flowers, some little decorations made of paper, which were not going with my concept at all.
So we can say thank God or thank someone else for heavy gel.
Yes, well, gel medium was another discovery. I bought it by accident. I was looking for modeling paste because I got modeling paste as a part of one of the kits from United States, because I was making a project for a kid club, and they sent me a jar of modeling paste. I figured it has to be something acrylic. It was sticky. It was white. It worked with the stencils. I liked it. And I used it to stick some buttons to my project, and it was sticking, so it was exciting. And then when the jar was empty, I wanted to buy the replacement. And this is how I found gel medium, because more modeling paste was not available in the art shop when I was visiting. So, and then I made my gel medium even better. So now gel medium does exactly what I want.
Of course you did. You are a huge inspiration to many people, Anna. But who is your inspiration? Where do you get your inspiration from?
This is very complicated question to answer, because I can't really say I'm getting inspiration from like one person or I follow one person. I really, my personal taste is very eclectic. So I will get inspiration from other forms of art. So I will be looking a lot, for example, in architecture, I'll be looking at projects which are sculptures. I will be looking at fine art. I will be looking at digital art. I will be looking at people who make comics or the visual stories. I will be looking at a lot of things. And I have to say, if you combine it all together, if you pick a little bit from everywhere, then you have really nice source of inspiration. Because honestly, I don't really have like one person I would like to follow, because I get bored so quickly. And that would be just like, okay, I admire people's project. When I look through Instagram, I scroll things, and I always get some new inspiration. I always get some new ideas. There are some arts I like just looking at them. Like, I love looking at the watercolor pieces, but I would never be a good watercolor artist at all, because it's flat and it requires a bit of patience. It requires being like really minimalistic with application of the paint. Like, not for me, but I love looking at it. So this is my answer. I really shop and collect in multiple sources. And this way, it is kind of easier to stay fresh when it comes to your ideas, I think.
That's lovely, Anna, to hear. Absolutely, I do too. I do, because if you just do one thing, I know when I started, I just made cards and used pattern paper, and that was my world. And then you discover new things. I still love to make cards, but I also want to learn new things, new techniques. I love to learn about new, like medium or paints, and so I think that's keeping us creative, I think. I think.
Absolutely, yes. You need to have always a little bit of the fresh ingredients in the mix, because otherwise it feels like not exciting anymore, and like, meh. Nice, but
but I would like to talk a bit about your products, Anna. And I know you have lots of products, and I would like to ask you, which are your 3 favorites?
Heavy body gel. Because I can stick everything with it. I gesso of any kind, because I can prime everything with it. And then I can't really say it's only one product, because I can say 4. So because for the color, I love liquid acrylic paints, because they are transparent and they give me a lot of opportunities. And then in the end, I need something metallic. And metallic can be wax, or it may be paint, but it is not 3, it's 4.
Okay, 4 it is. 4
but
it is.
It's like a recipe with that will give me the most possibilities to make decent projects. So even if I don't have anything else, I will have quite wide range of options, or what I can do with these products and how to use them. I could make a finished project based on that easily. So that is my favorite.
I love that. I have to get all 4. I think I don't have the waxes yet. So
you may fall in love after classes. You will.
I think so. I'm afraid I will. I think I have to get another job so I can pay for all this stuff.
It's one of the unfortunate necessities. Sometimes we have to work.
Yes, we have to. Okay, Anna. We've been chit-chatting away. Should we talk a bit about the classes you're doing in Stavanger? You're doing 3 classes?
Yes, but one is longer. So this is officially like the full weekend of classes. So whoever is interested, they can pick just one class, or they can come to all 3, like you. But the plan was to make one big project, which is like a full day project, and then 2 smaller ones. So the big one, I have one with me here, but it's really big. Yeah. So it is the canvas with the lady with a very multi-layered dress. So it is in fact made on one large canvas, or 2 smaller canvases stuck together, depending what we have on hand. And there is a lot of nice detail in this work. So what we do for like 7-8 hours, of course, with the lunch break and everything, we build everything together. So we build the layers, stencils, colors to create that background. Then we build the whole body of the lady. Usually it's an angel, so she's called Angelica, but you can make a flamenco dancer, you can make the Queen of Spain, you can make whoever, the goddess of forest. It doesn't matter, because you pick the colors, you pick the final look. It is up to you. The idea is to learn how to make this kind of body, how to create a dress, how to stick all these layers to make something bigger. And then you will have the whole range of the colors to paint it your way. So I will be showing you how it may be painted in an efficient way to make it doable in one day. Then how to get the depth, how to get the highlights. And of course, everything you need to make that project is included. So all you need to bring is your tools, and there will be tool list sent to all of the students. It's really basic. It is like heat gun, apron to cover yourself just in case, some brushes that you want to use, palette knife, maybe some of your favorite extras that you would like to add to the composition to make it more personal. But if you don't have any of that, what you get in the kit is going to be enough to make this. Because I always make a new project in the classroom, so I use the kit, right? So this is the one I made somewhere, I don't know, somewhere in the classroom. This is exactly from the classroom. And it's still enough to really make a nice project. You can exercise your techniques, you can learn everything. And this way you get a lot of skills on how to make the larger project and how to plan the bigger space. So that is 1 day full class called Angelica. And it is surprisingly possible to be made by beginners. Like everybody can do it, because the way I teach the project, you can do everything step by step together with me. And I always give really detailed instruction, and I show you how I do things. So if you feel intimidated because it's your first time and you are not sure if you can do it, believe me, I had some students who were transitioning from card making. And this was not talking about you, Iris. No, this was it was somebody else. But it also was happening in one of the events. I'm not sure it was Sweden or Norway. She told me in the beginning of the class, she is like, I'm very clean person. I don't have the glue if I don't have to, but I really want to try. And she was really brave getting out of her comfort zone, and she did a fabulous job. Like halfway through the class, she was already touching the glue, and it was okay. But it is all possible, even if you are a beginner. If you see how the teacher is doing that, when you see how the other students are doing that, you get that confidence, and you can see when it's broken into steps. Even a large project is really not hard to do. So what you have included in here is using stencils and transparent paste, using gel mediums to glue, metallic paints, metallic waxes, and a little bit of the liquid acrylics as well to create some effect. So you have also quite solid knowledge on different groups of products as well, because when you use them at the same time, you learn what they do and why you use them. So there's a good range of different products included as well. So that is 1 day. If you are into larger projects, if you like to have like full-blown mixed media experience, Angelica is something for you.
Oh, it's really beautiful. I would be very scared if you just left me with that big canvas and said, please, Iris, create something. I wouldn't know where to start. So I'm really glad that you were there.
My job is to make one with you step by step.
Yes, I know.
So
I'm really looking
I will have to make
it.
one from scratch. I will have to make everything in front of you. So you will see how it is done. And you will see it's easier than it seems, because it is done step by step, and every step makes sense later on once we start painting. So for the people who are new to mixed media of this kind, sometimes people are surprised. Colors and final look really comes quite late in the project, because in the beginning we are making like quite surprisingly messy thing. We create some textures and layers, and only then, when everything is kind of constructed, then we switch to adding colors or a special effect. So this is a little bit different approach, but I really made it time efficient. So you don't have to go into the steps which are unnecessary to get the best results, because when you try to figure out things yourselves, sometimes you may do a lot of steps which are not really going to make any difference, and they are fun, but they're not going to change the final look. You just do more of the scenic route. When with the teacher, you're supposed to take this direct route to get to the result and to learn where you can take some shortcuts or where it is necessary to really pay attention to the effect, to the detail, and so on. So this is one of the good things about the class. You can take somebody else's experience. You don't have to experiment yourself on everything.
Oh, that sounds great, Anna. We're in safe hands. We're in safe hands.
I can see one of my students from the last weekend, well, not last weekend, weekend before, she's here, Sam.
Okay.
She was taking my class in the UK, and she is convincing everybody that yes, she had 2 beginners at the table in the UK, and they had a blast. That's very good to know. So yeah, I have to say I'm pretty lucky having also very friendly and very cooperative students. And I have to say huge thank you for this review. It's so nice to have something like that in front of me. So, okay. So another class.
Yes.
We are on the second day. I'm not sure which day is Angelica, but on the second day, there are two smaller classes. So the projects are smaller and they're in different styles. And one is more like, this is an example I made some time ago. It's more like a combination of mixed media techniques and scrapbooking techniques because we have photo in the project. Here is like any photo you like. I have photo of my dog because I wanted to have like a garden inspiration, and I like the colors of the photo and everything. But in fact, what you learn is how to create multi-layered canvas or multi-layered frame with the photo included if you have it with you, and then how to get inspired by the colors of the papers, colors of the photo, how to use a little bit of this knowledge you may have, from, for example, from scrapbooking or card making into mixed media, because it's absolutely possible to incorporate these materials to mixed media projects. You learn how to create the depth, how to use different groups of materials. So there will be surely some of the liquid acrylic paints to create color. There will be some highlights. There will be some shadows. So everything you need to get a dimensional look based partly on the more traditional embellishments. So it's not just elements made with molds or some found objects. It's also paper flowers and something like chipboard elements. So things that may be more familiar for people who are into paper crafts. And it's an example on how to make a really nice project, again, of your choice, because you can always alter the colors a little bit. This is just an example. And again, there will be a range of colors to pick. So you can pick your color palette, you can alter your color palette. Some people think if I show the project like that as an example for the class, this is what we are going to do exactly. This is not how it works in my classes. Every time when I make a project, it's going to be a little bit different. However, we are going through all these techniques and steps. You can try to recreate exactly what you see, but I'm not even able to make exactly the same thing because I never have the same kit. It's not possible to have the same things. And I would be so bored making this thing again, to be honest, because why? It's about learning how the things work so you can create a lot of different compositions using this knowledge instead of recreating one over and over. This is my goal, to teach people how to create various kinds of art instead of just making one project and then not feeling confident to doing anything else. So here it is a great class for people who like to work with photos, who like to use multiple embellishments together, and who maybe prefer a little bit softer colors, but they would like to learn how to add a bit of vintage or grungy touches to the softer colors as well. So this is the pastel version of the class. And then finally, there's the class where you can learn how to make really grungy project. And it's not going to be this shape of the clock because apparently I learned Prima got out of stock completely. We're going to have square metal frame, but the idea will be the same. We're going to learn how to create a rust effect on the top of the elements, and we're going to create composition inside. There will be different elements to choose from, so don't feel this has to be a butterfly. I usually give like a range of different elements, like, you know, maybe some faces, maybe some butterflies, maybe some birds, different ones I can make in the molds, so they're going to fit nicely inside. So you make the composition. We learn how to make it rusty, how to make it sparkly, how to make this effect really visible. So for people who would like to learn more of the grungy look, grungy techniques, how if they would like to incorporate the shiny stuff together with the rusty stuff, learn a little bit about effect paste, about a little bit about metallic flakes and how to make your flowers rusty, this is the perfect class to take as well. So this is it. 3 classes. Magdalena was picking them. So she made the final choices. I hope you like her choices. I think it's a nice range because you have really different looks and you can see how it works. So
they are beautiful, all of your projects, Anna, and we are really looking forward to learn all about this. So I'm so glad I signed for all 3 classes.
Thank you.
Really.
I hope some of the students who are still not sure, they're going to watch and they will feel encouraged that this is absolutely experience that it's not too hard to do. This is something very encouraging and giving the good energy. It's not that hard. It's not too complicated, because I know when some people look at the finished projects, they expect it is very complicated, hard, like very not really easy to understand. But in reality, everything is about planning and preparing the class this way, so it is all done in logical steps. And then I can say, really, with full confidence, beginners can do it. So that's why I never say this class is for only advanced people, because there are no skills that you can't learn in the classroom. Everything you can learn. It's just the matter that the class really takes time. And I know students in Norway, people are very focused on work, which is not always the case in other countries, I have to say. People like to talk in some places a lot. But in Norway, in Sweden, people are really focused. So there's no problem in following the steps and keeping the whole group on time. This is my experience. So there is really great energy in the room. People learn quickly. People make decisions. There's always a teacher there to help you if you need help. You can, if you have any problems picking your favorite color, well, that is not really the place I can help you, but I will try to give you some advice. Sometimes the hardest part is to decide what color should be your project, okay? So basically the only class when you can't really change that much of the color palette is the one with the clock, because it's rusty.
Because it's rusty, yes, absolutely.
Too rusty.
Absolutely.
But still there may be variations. Variations of rusty still are possible.
Yes, I think so. Yes. Very nice. Thank you so much, Anna. Do you have any questions for us?
Well, I'm just wondering, do I have any questions for you?
I can tell you, I'm bringing along a couple of my friends, so there will be a lot of in your classroom. So maybe you have to say, shh, please listen up,
maybe,
girls.
but believe me, try me. I've seen a lot in my life. And I am sure somehow I can see the comment here from Sam. She was one of the students. No, I don't mean people in the UK. Really, try to compare that to, for example, Italian temperament, or people who are like really hot-blooded people, when they really have this energy in them, and the focusing on a project requires a little bit more self-restraint. It is not so easy, so I'm not worried. I'm happy you bring your friends. It's going to be lovely time together, and I hope to see the students I had before. I know at least one is a returning student, because she messaged me. She said she's coming to my classes. Okay. So that would be lovely. And if you are, yes, maybe in Lorena, maybe in Peru.
Maybe in Peru.
Yes, people in Peru are absolutely beautiful. They are amazing group. So that was great memory. So that is a very good point here from Trina. She mentioned that if you learn in the classes, it can be used elsewhere. Exactly, because the techniques I'm showing in the classroom, we make them on the canvas or we make them on the clock. But these techniques, because of the materials we're using and the mediums that are designed to make it work, they basically are easy transitionable to any surface. If you want to make something similar, but you want to make it on wooden box or the metal panel or something, all of this is going to work. You just have to remember to prepare the surface, and then you kind of have like the whole set of skills that is going to give you the idea how you can work on multiple objects. So that is a very good point. And well, I hope more of your friends is going to get hooked on mixed media.
I hope so too. I hope so too, because it's really fun. It's really a new world to me. So I one of my friends, Jorunn, she's on, she's coming, and I've learned one important thing from Jorunn, and that is that white gesso is your best friend.
Absolutely, but I also would say your next best friend is black gesso.
Your next best friend. I'll keep that in mind.
Yes.
I'll keep that in mind.
Because white gesso is very good friend, but it can't give you certain things. Sometimes you also need your other best friend, black gesso.
So I get that. I get that. Absolutely. Okay, Anna. You have planned to do a little project for us.
Yes. I have something to show you, like a mini canvas with the 7 Studio papers and black gesso as well, because the canvas is going to be a bit darker. So when I'm getting ready, you can remind everything how they can sign up for the classes and how to find information about the event. And I will quickly turn my camera upside down and do the things this way.
Okay. Well, can I do this in Norwegian, Anna?
Yes, absolutely. I think so.
Okay, very good. Ok, da det egentlig bare å ta en liten kikk inne på Kreativt sin side. Der der lagt ut informasjon flere ganger med plakater på kursene. Så det bare å sende mail til Magdalena. All informasjon ligger om dato, klokkeslett, priser. Så påmeldingen til Magdalena. Og all informasjon ligger inne på Kreativt sine sider. Så jeg håper virkelig at det mange nå som kjenner at Finnabair var ikke så skummel, og hun snakker godt engelsk, lett å forstå, og tenk det å få ha henne ved siden av oss når vi sitter og jobber. Tror det blir helt fantastisk. Og det veldig kjekt, det veldig sosialt. Kjekt å treffe nye folk, gjøre nye bekjentskaper. Vi har det jo ganske gøy når vi i lag. Så jeg håper at vi får med flere. Jeg tror det ledige plasser igjen. Det kan Magdalena, som sagt, bare ta kontakt med Magdalena. Så håper jeg at vi ses i Stavanger. Altså Masse som skal være, den fra 7. til 9. mars. Finnabair jo 8. og 9. mars. Yes.
Okay, I'm almost ready. I just dropped my other camera, don't worry. I'm getting ready.
That's very nice.
An example. We're going to do something in this style, but smaller. So we're going to use 7 Studio papers, but I've got cute little canvas, 15 by 15 centimeters, painted black. And that will be our start. We're going to make some composition here. We're going to use the papers as our inspiration. And then we're going to add embellishments and make sure everything is going to match nicely. So I give you 1 more minute to answer all the questions. I'm back in my apron and we can start.
Yes. Da skal vi se. Jorunn skriver at det ligger under framhevet, så det skal være lett å finne informasjon om kursene til Finnabair på Kreativt sin side. Maja-Irene, hun opptatt. Det var sunn, Maja-Irene. Hadde vært veldig kjekt, men kanskje en annen gang. Du skal sikkert gjøre noe annet kjekt. Men jeg håper virkelig at det flere som med. Nå ser det ut som at Finnabair klar. Are you ready, Anna?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I think what is possibly better if you can put me on the full screen. So it's going to be more visible. Perfect. And here I go. So I want to include the photo, but in a different way here. My photo is going to be on the top of the composition. And I would like to use the scrapbooking papers to create layers on the top of my little canvas. So what I prepared in advance, because of course I had to prepare, I started with looking through the photos, and I looked through leftovers of the photos I had from my Halloween projects. And in the end, I realized, as you can see, I have elements here ready. I've got really cute image of the little house. And of course, going with the colors of the paper, this little house is really nicely matching. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the background or I'm going to take just the house shape, but this is the color palette that is my inspiration. And these are 7 Dot Studio papers from my Stargazer collection. So that in the end is going to kind of be my first idea for the colors. I would like to create layers here. So I'm going to put one paper, then you're going to see part of the background through it. Then I'm going to put the second paper. I've got selection of different elements. I have leftovers of the papers. I can layer to create dimension. I've got some elements which are made with the resin using silicone molds and fast casting resin. I made some gears, so I will have some steampunk elements. And as you can see here, I've got multiple shapes and sizes, some flowers, some different kind of metal embellishments. Some of them are just elements taken from the old watch. So there is a bit of that will help me create composition together with the papers. So first, a little bit of distressing of the edges, so the papers are going to be easily visible. And then we will stick it on the top of the canvas. And if you have any questions or suggestions, I have one eye on the chat. And as long as you're able to ask in English, I should be okay to answer. So first, I'm just using my old distressing tool from Prima from years ago, and I'm adding a little bit of this effect on the edge. So when I stick the paper, it's going to be a little bit more visible. It's not going to blend with the background so easily. And I will add some ink on the edges of the paper as well. This is a technique that most of people know from scrapbooking techniques or card making. But just in case if you don't, here's a blade. And this blade is helping me to rip the paper a little bit. So that is the plan. I need some craft mat to use the ink on the top. And we're going to stick the papers one on the top of another. Oh, this mat seems to be almost clean. Very nice. Now a little bit of ink on the edges. I can probably use a little bit of the brown color because we will go, as I said, with the inspiration of the little house photo. So I will get some shade of brown. You can tell I don't use inks very often, but I have them. Believe it or not, I have some of the colors of the inks. So it is possible to see me using inks as well. And I think this one is just not doing the job. Doesn't matter. Let's do the walnut stain on the darker paper, and then we stick it on the top of the little canvas. So my ink pad is really old, but still doing what it's supposed to do. So this way my white paper edge is going to get darker. And because the paper is so dark, you can't really see if I'm going a little bit further on the paper here. I don't have to be very careful. So this is layer number 1. That's really nice effect. And then we will layer number 2 on the top. If I want to add more of the inking on the edges, on the other elements, I will keep my inks here. There will be some little pieces of paper as well, so it's very likely we will need a little bit of ink. When it comes to distressing like that, I only do it from time to time. I don't really use a lot of paper in my projects. When I make dimensional projects, I do it in more of the like transition ones between scrapbooking and mixed media. So let's say this blue is the sky, this is the ground. So my little house will be in this position. I think that makes sense. And then let's stick the papers on the top of the canvas. And for that, you can use your favorite glue, but I usually use gel medium. This is 3D gloss gel, and it is going to help me stick the papers quickly. It's transparent and it's really easy to spread. I use my silicone brush, and it's going to be a quick way to stick elements on the top. If you would like to add some textures to your project, of course you can use stencils on the top of the papers, but for me, I want to create textures mostly by sticking layers today. So it's a small canvas, there will be not much of the paper visible, but absolutely you could add some design first if you wanted to add extra beautiful texture on the top. This paper will be only partly visible, so I will try to build layers and texture different way. So the colors are transitioning from blue through green to kind of like amber brown into rusty yellow. And now we can look for more elements to create layers. If the house goes on that side, I can create the composition based on embellishments. Or I can combine the papers and the embellishments. If I wanted to do just embellishments, I could probably easily create a simple composition here. I've got some parts that will be helping me with that. But maybe first, let's add some paper leftovers, because I was cutting the paper, so why not including them in the background? So these are the leftovers of the paper I was cutting before. So I will try to distress them and create some layers together with my gears. You don't have any questions? Are you sure? Because I don't see any questions so far. And I'm not sure if this is a good sign or a bad sign. So I'm doing a little bit of distressing here as well. And I'm going to paint these elements a little bit before. I have these strips that look really nice. I want to use them as well. I have really limited space here, so I have to be careful with how many bits and pieces I use. I totally agree. It's really sad for me as well that products are not so easy to find, because I would love to see them everywhere. Okay, so I have some papers. I also cut some of the elements out in advance because I thought I was cheating. I just wanted to have easier job later on. So I took my Stargazer collection paper, Celestial Elements, and I cut the elements out. There were also sheet with the tags, and I cut some of them out. I have them in the bag. So because I have them in the bag, it's now easier to go through them and pick some of the bits and pieces to include in the project. There is quite a lot of the round objects, and they also follow the shape of the planets and moon. So that is, I think, nice detail. I'm going to take some of these. And there's one with the moon, and this is really cool. And I want to make like the pebble with the moon as well. I really love the look of it. Just to show you what I tried to make on the inspirational project, I put in a very good place. See, pebbles with the moon. They're going to look really, really cool. So that is also part of our plan. So let's see how many of these papers we can really include in here, combining the gears together with the papers. I think I can't do too much, to be honest, because I have very limited space. So let's say 3 pieces of paper is enough. And then maybe 2 of these strips. And then I'm going to paint these guys with black gesso as a starter. So I'm not going to, or you know what? I'm not going to paint them. I'm going to paint them later on with clear gesso anyway. That's my plan. Abort mission. I'm going to do it differently. So if you would like to stick heavy elements on your projects, you can use the same 3D gloss gel. That's one of the options. But to make it even easier, you can use thicker version of the gel. It is called Heavy Body Gel. And this is one of my favorite products to use in the dimensional projects. Let me find the Heavy Body Gel. Surprisingly, it's not too far. Thank you. I'm happy you like the papers. This is the latest collection I made for 7 Dot Studio. And I have to say, they made me proud. Have you made the gears from your molds? Exactly. These elements you can see here, they come from many of the molds I made. And usually when I make project and there are some fun the elements in there. Just let me show you. For example, the mold with the bird. Together with the birds, there are also some gears and some smaller details. So you can always use the leftovers of your clay or resin to create extra details for the composition. There are also some molds which are just for the big gears, or they're full of gears. Like this, as you can see, is exactly this element. So there are many options. So now I'm sticking this, and for the papers, I will need to layer them partly on the gear and partly hanging over in the air. So I need to put some cardboard under so it's not going to be too wobbly. Secret weapon, cardboard. Sometimes it's just so simple. You have to find a way to make the things work. Yeah. So we're sticking here, we're sticking here. Perfect. Now this one needs a little bit of the support here. Two layers. Just hiding the cardboard a little bit. Later on, there will be probably some embellishments there, so nobody will see. Nobody will know. There's number 3 here. I could add some ink, but it's going to be painted anyway. I'm covering too much, I guess. I want more space, so I put a piece of cardboard here as well. And now we can add more of the fun details. Don't go away. Stick nicely. Thank you. So this gear will go in this part. If you see big blobs of gel, don't worry, we will take care of them in a moment. And this I'm just going to cut, or I will cut the cardboard and that will be easier. As you can see, gel medium is repositionable in a way, so you can pick your elements and change the position and so on until it dries, and then it's completely solid. Oh my God. let's stick the papers on. We have pockets we can fill with more of the embellishments now. I had this idea to add this big circle on the side here to mimic this shape of the gears. To make it even faster and easier, I'm going to use the double-sided foam tape. Yes, fast dry resin is great for molds. I totally agree. Like, I'm lazy. I never have time for waiting for the clay. And especially when I make kits for the classes, I have to make a lot of them quickly. So in reality, I will need to cast these shapes rather quickly. So clay works nicely if you just need a small set for you to use, and that is like fast drying clay, air drying clay. It's a really nice product. But when you make a lot of them at one time, resin works faster. I think I'm going to cut it out already. I'm just going to take this Gothic house out of the background. So I will see how much space I've got for my embellishments. I usually make bigger projects, so I have to stop myself before it's too late. And I fill the whole canvas with elements with no space for the photo. I wanted this house to be like a little mysterious house with the moon and some grungy details. So I think it's going to look very nice in here. I guess this is a balcony. Okay, I have to think, do I need a balcony here? Let's give it a chance. Cute. That's the plan. What I noticed, and this is really funny, the camera is flipped, so you see like the mirror image of what I see. And I don't know why. But on the big screen, it looks okay. So it's just me looking at the screen being confused. So this will be somewhere here. I guess we may need some support for this house to work nicely. I have some camera strips. It may be nice detail as well. So now I'm looking for the elements that add nice detail to the composition. So some of the embellishments from the stash. And I don't worry about the colors too much. I'm going to paint that in a moment. I'm just not sticking the photo for a reason. This is going to be support for the little house, so it doesn't hang in the air that much, maybe. And I have space here. So I feel really tempted to add one more gear. And now when I have the big elements in, I can think about smaller details as well. So more of the camera, film details, maybe. Once I have them on the table. Love the Gothic House. Is it a download? Jean, yes. You remember it's from Art House Whimsy. I think that was the set we were using as patrons during the spooky, whimsical Halloween project, because it came together with these girls. These kind of girls in the stockings, colorful stockings. So I would say this is one of these guys. Oh, 2012. It will be so great to see you again. That's prehistory, but it's amazing. It's happening. I'm just building layers now. I'm looking for like more options to add details like this. Apparently this circle needs to be there. So it kind of closes the composition nicely. So I told you I would like to add some of the pebbles that will look like they are maybe moons, and I made them in advance. I have 1 big and 3 small here on this piece of paper. So what I did, I took one of the paper embellishments taken from this collection, and then I took one of the pebbles, and using transparent gel medium, I stuck the pebble on the top of the paper to create the moon. So in case if you would like to make some special details, some special elements matching your paper collection you're using, this is a great way. So let's make one. For example, you can use soft gel or you can use 3D gel. It's easy to spread, or any kind of craft glue that dries completely transparent. So there's no special technique to do it. The only thing is important, put some glue on the paper or on the pebble and then stick it nicely. And then, of course, let it dry. I just try to press it down. And when the gel dries, it's completely transparent, and this way you get your custom pebbles. So I'm going to put it to drying. You can use your heat gun, of course. And now I'm going to give myself a moment to cut these pebbles out. I'm not sure if I need all of them, but I would like to have one of the small ones maybe, and one of the big one. So baby pebble is ready, looks like mini planet. So it will be a really nice add-on. And then we're going to have the big that looks like a moon. Just need to cut carefully because I stuck them together next to each other. So They also work like magnifying glasses a little bit. So when you stick somebody's face under the pebble, don't forget the face will look bigger. Sometimes it's a little bit creepy. But sometimes creepy is good. Oh, here we have the pebble. Maybe one more. And last one. So after sticking, you have your pebbles ready once the gel is dry, and you can play with that. I have some space here, but I probably will leave it for a sentiment. And then I will try to leave some space for the pebbles as well. So what I'm going to do now, I will dry it with the heat gun. Maybe I'm going to add a little bit of a finishing touch, like a smaller embellishment here and there. One second. I have some moths. And I have this kind of like a fence detail. I was thinking it may be like a fence for the house. But I don't think I have space for this now. Although I will try to see. It is cute, but it's too long. I'm going to cut it shorter. With scissors that keep disappearing all the time. Come on. Oh, that's nicer. Yeah, I really like Gothic, and I think you can do so much with that. Yes, creepy is always good. I know, Sam, you are the best person to be the like, living example of creepy is always good. I'm going to wait with the small embellishments until it is painted. So now, before any painting, gesso or anything, we need to dry it so the gel will stick nicely. I can see in the corners here, it's lifting, so I'm going to stick it again. No problem. There's always a chance to stick something better. And then you are not going anywhere, you little thingy. You are sticking. Oh, you don't want to stick. Let me put something in here to convince you that you really want to be in this place. When you have the plastic elements, you have to be careful and move the heat gun around. So, for example, the paper, the film strip is not going to get damaged by accident. If you have stubborn papers keep sticking out, you can always put some clips on the edges of the canvas as well. I'm really trying to be efficient and make quick and cute project for you, because I know this live stream is rather long, but I hope I keep you entertained enough. Okay, so we've got some elements that are metal. They're not going to be easy to repaint. I'm just going to use clear gesso to protect my papers and to protect the embellishments. This one, though, it's a little bit too dark, and it's going to be very visible next to the house. So I'm planning to paint it with the white gesso. First, I will take clear gesso and I will paint my top layer of the papers and the embellishments. And I take really small brush because I need to be rather selective. I usually do it with the big brushes, but this project is tiny, so I have to be careful. Clear gesso is a primer that is invisible after drying, but it turns everything matte. I don't want to repaint too much. I really like the color of the papers. I will try to get close to these colors and then add some nice highlights. You can paint your paper using the clear gesso without any problem because it's going to be invisible and it's also protection for your paper. So don't be shy. Go on the top of the papers and it will disappear very soon. You've got the attention of 35 people. No pressure. Stay. If you are struggling with gluing and you don't want to use the heat gun too much, you can let your layers dry naturally as well. That's a very good solution. But of course, in the classroom or here in this situation, we want everything to dry quickly. So that's why I'm using the heat gun, and I really have no patience to wait anyway. Okay, I removed the excess of the gesso. I will dry it, and then I will add a little bit more of the white gesso on this rusty gear because I want it to be a little bit lighter in color. Because it's not exactly the tone that goes with the photo. And this one apparently is not sticking enough, so I need to do better. Don't be shy, stick nicely. If it doesn't stick, it means there's not enough gel. Or maybe it is in the position where there's nothing to stick to. So that also happens. And then the best way is just to apply more and to clean off the excess, and I'm doing that now. And a bit of drying. Hello. Good to see you. Of course, I could paint this gear before sticking, but I very rarely do it, and it's not my habit, so of course I made it harder for myself. It's okay though. I will survive. Just a little bit to make it lighter so I can paint it in a color similar to the background. So I'm painting this white. And you're supposed to stay in there. Nice. Now, let's look at the colors. Yes, one of the dogs just tried to eat metal embellishment, and this is not good news. So we had to make intervention. But everybody is fine. So here we have project so far. Now we need to add the colors to match. I would like my elements to match the colors in the paper. So I'm looking for the liquid acrylics. They're going to make my embellishments more brown, maybe a little bit blue. Let's start with the blue, sorry, brown first. And the color that is going to match is amber. There are no clean palettes in this house. So amber brown, as you can see, makes sense with this color. I'm going to add a little bit, and I'm going to use the water to water it down. I would like to add a tiny bit of ochre. Ochre is more gold, so I'm going to try both of these browns. I would like to add this color to my embellishments, and then it will go a little bit on the papers as well. But we are playing in a delicate way here today. These are acrylic paints. They are transparent, but they are also quite highly pigmented. Oh, this is nice. This one I have to stick better, but it will happen. I use my wet brush to add the color. You can see this color makes sense in this situation. This is more gold. It also makes sense. When you spray with water, it's getting more transparent. But also, you can paint on the background. And because it is sealed with gesso, there will be no damage to the paper. It's kind of easy to add the colors this way. Apparently here it was not sealed with gesso, but still we are okay. We're going to add some more details. So more gears, or more of the grungy details. So you can see how the embellishments start to blend into the papers quickly. I will dry it, and then I will see where I would like to add more of the color. Maybe I would like to change something, make something more rusty. So first, it's just to make sure it's drying the way it is. When you put a lot of water, the color gets really transparent. I'm just making sure that everything is okay. You can see everything and you can hear me well, because sometimes with the streams it looks a bit funny. Okay, so this one needs a little bit more of love. And this one as well. I can already add some more in the corners here to create like effect. It is more shadowy, like this bigger, deeper shadow in there. So it matches the color nicely. Let's dry it. We will do the highlight with some nice metallic color as well. I'm adding a bit of that into the background. And I'm looking for small embellishments to add finishing touches. Oh, come on, come on, come on. We are staying here in place. Yeah, apparently the chain today is not cooperating well. Can roll the paper edges so they look a bit more dramatic. Perfect for the Gothic project. I melted this, so I have to probably put a new one. I told you I'm not good at being careful. So this bad boy has to go away. I'm going to bring the new one in a moment. And then some smaller embellishments to go with this. How pretty is that? So let's say one of the moons is going to go here. Then maybe one here. One here. So we have some nice focal point. Then need to find more of the paper strips. So I'm going to stick this with the heavy body gel in the right position. When you have inspiration coming from the paper collection, it's really easy because you don't have to think about the colors. They are kind of in front of you. Just need to follow them. So it's an easy way to make the composition work. Yeah. This has to be back. Yay, me. I should be waiting with sticking that until painting is done, but I couldn't, and that was a punishment. Okay, so some little details to finish. I'm going to look for some gears, maybe some... Ooh, this is really cool. This is part of the old metal embellishment and it's already rusty. Whoa, that is cool. I have to just elevate it a little bit on this side. I need to stick something here for support. Let me find... You know, in fact, I can do it differently. I will stick it and then I will support it. It's like a wild jungle element. Maybe let's put... some piece of metal in here to hold it in place even better. Just need to put more gel so it's going to go through all of the layers. Okay, so the house goes here. Here's the space for the sentiment. I feel like we need some smaller details on that side to make it work. Just to add some extra interest. Like this is empty. I feel like I would like to add something in there. Another piece of metal. So I'm thinking. But on the other hand, with all these moons, would be nice to have an insect. And for some reason, I've got this old pen nib. I would like to add somewhere as well. You can do it. I'm going to move the whole thing instead of putting the pen nib in the place. I guess the answer is, where is my little insect I had here? I had the... here it is. So let's paint the moth as well. So we are almost there. We just need to do the highlights, stick it all together, and then finally add the text. Just drawing that a little bit more. So bit by bit it's coming together. This is what we have so far. I need to figure what color I would like to make the highlights. I've got a rather white color in the moons. I could go with some kind of like silver tones, or I could go more with the aged brass to make it more vintagey. So, you know, choices. Hello, my little one. Your destination is to get in here. My fingers are so sticky. It's sticking to my fingers instead of a project. Okay, some little screw heads, maybe. For like extra steampunk vibe. And I'm still thinking on the highlight color. One more. If you can hear some strange noises, it's my dog. Please forgive him. He's not the most patient one. It will all dry nicely once it is stuck. So the question is, do we go with brass or silver? We don't need gesso anymore, so I'm going to close it. If I can't make up my mind, I will just try both and see what happens and which one works better. That's usually the easiest solution. And we still have sentiment to add here. Somebody knows me well. I think silver is probably better because of the Gothic house, and I have to give it some background, so it's going to sit nicely here. So let's take suggestion of the one of my patrons and students. And let's try silver. I think it's going to give nice highlight on the top of the elements. So I'm going to take just a bit. I will take a brush and I will brush it very carefully. I have two big finger, to be honest, to go on some of these details. So I will try to take a small flat brush and use it instead. Of course, if I have a small flat brush, because I was washing them and I don't think all of them are back. And small flat brushes are precious. Well, there's one in the water. I will just dry it. Yes, snoring and making noises. Dogs are cute. There's one just behind me. She's waiting patiently, showing she's a good girl. There's another one snoring. And there will be one barking in a moment, probably. Ash gray. It's going to be matte. And I'm not sure if I would like to have matte finish here because of the moon and the moonlight. So I will try to use the silver instead, together with this amber. And it works really nicely. So the plan is not to cover everything. So you still see the original color, but to add some nice highlight. Especially the chain here. Some details of the gear. And a little bit of wax goes a very long way. It does feel very cold now, so I have a feeling I will add a delicate rusty touch somewhere. Just look at the details of this old metal coming to life so quickly. Cute. It is cute. I really like it. Of course, instead of a house, it could be like anything you like. It may be a person, or it may be an element here as well. So this is just an example how you can use it in the composition. For the tiny rusty touches, we can take a bit of carmine paint. And I can even mix it into the browns to touch the background. So this is, very quick way to match the colors of the paints with the paper. I just need a bit more of water because this is really strong paint. I'm painting on the top of the waxes, so it is not going to be very covering. Waxes don't like any paint, to be honest. So in the end, it's more like dabbing a tiny bit of the color in the selected parts to create like nice effect. So it's not going to be all so cold and monochromatic. I'm going to add a little bit of the red in the background as well. Drying. And then highlighting a bit with silver again because I covered probably a little bit too much. Okay, there's a bit more life in the projects now. I'm just thinking here, maybe a little bit less. So you can play like that for a long, long time. Last but not least, we are going to add sentiment. The sentiment is stickers. We have stickers from the same collection. And we're, well, sleepless nights. Good night, sweet dreams is, believe in magic is kind of promising. Make a wish. Into the unknown. Well, into the unknown, or may believe in magic. One of these two. I'm going to take some tape, baby wipe to clean the background. So here we go. Maybe believe in magic. It's going to go here, but it's too long. These little stickers are great for journaling or for little sentiments for your pages, but they also work in mixed media if you want. I usually just put them on the 3D foam, so they are going to have more like a distance. See, Jean, I was reading in your mind. I think the house looks magical, so I can see absolutely. Believe in magic. And the last thing to do will be, of course, to stick the house. But to stick the house, again, we need to back it with a bit of something more solid, because it is just a photo. So I will try to give it a little bit of extra support. A little bit too long. Any glue will do. Don't go there at this moment. Okay, I will stay away from your mind. And then to give it even more of the nice distance, we can use the double-sided foam to stick nicely. You can use gel medium and cardboard, whatever feels right, just to make sure it's going to be nice and flat. We need something here as well. So this project is like a combination of scrapbooking, card making, and mixed media techniques. In a way, it is very nice transition between mixed media and paper crafts. See, I didn't really cover this piece of cardboard, so now I have to make sure it looks fabulous. Let's add some silver wax on it and see if this is going to make it look more acceptable. If not, I'll have to find some kind of pebble or something to stick in there. So very quickly, very easily, following the colors of the paper collection, Stargazer from 7 Dot Studio. And I have to say, Magdalena has it in her shop. So if you are into this kind of colors, you may get it from her. I will just show you the other project that was done in similar way. We did very quickly mixed media collage, paper layout cross, just to add some metal embellishments and everything. So this Stargazer collection has 12 by 12 papers. There are tag sheet, 2 elements sheets. I was using some of the moons. That was it. And then there is small mini pad of the papers I was using here. You can see they come like this, or in the collection kit you have full size papers, and they are all inspired by the moon and stars, constellations, astronomy, astrology. So if you want to have something a little bit more on the grungy side, these are great quality papers, and they have like ready to go mixed media backgrounds for you to play as well. Oh, here's the second set of the vintage elements. So I made this paper set for 7 Dot Studio, and it was in the autumn. This is probably my favorite collection so far, so I'm very, very proud of it. I think this is my favorite paper. I used the mini version of it. And I will try to include my 7 Dot Studio papers, this or the other collection, the butterfly effect, into pastel class. So there will be some little elements as well. And now I just let it dry naturally. I will make sure everything sticks in place. And well, this little 15 by 15 centimeters canvas is basically ready. So I hope you enjoyed. I was told by the ladies I'm supposed to finish the live stream when the project is done. So it is now. I don't want to over dry it with the heat gun because there are these foils in there. So I will just let it dry naturally. So all of these elements that are still moving, like this annoying guy here, and I will stick it. Right. They're just going to dry flat without any rushing. So sometimes when you mix delicate elements together with the more durable ones, you have to be patient. But after drying, this is going to be completely solid, and the paper may rip if you pull it, but the gel medium is going to stay in place, I can guarantee. So I hope you're going to get inspired to create something similar. And I hope to see you in the classroom, because if you are not sure yet, I can promise it's going to be a lot of mixed media fun. And now I had to save my embellishments from the dog again, because they dropped on the floor. And guess who was here trying to steal them? Oh, yes, you are so disappointed. I know. So disappointed. It's gone. Oh. So, have a wonderful creative time. If you make a project in similar style, please tag me on Instagram. It's at Finnabair or at Finnabair_studio, and we will be able to see it. It will be lovely. And of course, if you are coming to the classes, please feel free to bring some of your own elements. If you'd like to include something personal in your project, there will be a chance for that for sure. Some people like to use some personal items, some findings, and if you'd like to include them in any of the projects, I'm sure there will be a way. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you for watching. Thank you to my wonderful patrons and my students from all over the world for visiting us tonight for this unofficial live stream. Thank you for all the support, and all the love goes to my Patreon group, and all the love goes to my wonderful supporters in all over the world. Big hugs to Peru, because you were probably the further away. Lorena is one of the students and a wonderful person who was helping with translation in Peru. So I am really blessed with people surrounding me, I have to say. So huge thank you to Iris and to Magdalena for organizing that. And if you need more invitations to the classes, feel free to ask on under the video or on Facebook. We will try to give you all the possible information. Thank you. I hope it was fun. I really like this jungle element coming out of the house. It looks like a Baba Yaga house now. And I really wish you a wonderful evening. And my dear patrons, we see each other on Saturday. Bye, everybody. Thank you.